Okay, let me pack this up. I still have to figure out a better design for this mic because right now it's kind of flying around in my face a little bit. Want to do here goes my rad rover. Oh, it timed out. Hang on. There, 4,410 miles. Hopefully you can see that. It's one thing I didn't add the app. One thing I wanted to show you is right here, the gap in between the red pedal ascent sensor and the chain right here. When you put your bike and you park it, with mine, the pedal, I kept kind of putting it up in there, and then one of the bars was hitting it. Because it's such a wide gap, it's a bit of a poor design because over time, I didn't realize it, but I was kind of like hitting the bike rack. And so you can see now it's pretty much broken off. Not the end of the world. I don't really use pedal assist on this thing too much, but something that you should be aware of when you have the Rad Rover. And this thing, you could tell I use this thing. I commute with it. I take it off-road, on-road. You can see the right up close there, the mud, the debris. It's a great bike, but you know, it's more of the baseline, you could say. Just even the 2019 versions, I did go on their site and look, and it's just there's not a lot of new engineering going on in that one. It's still tried and true, but if you're looking for, you know, some of the newer technologies like torque sensing and things like that, yeah, not to heart, but I just want to bring that up. And I really am hopeful that Rad Power Bikes, they are looking to do more innovative things, hydraulic brakes, things like that, just a little bit nicer of a design. So the mic is kind of, right now you can't see it, but it's just kind of free flowing as I turn. So I don't know what kind of noise we're going to get. But it'd been a while since I filmed here, so I didn't want to see if we got a bird coming across there. There's been some really good, we've had some hawks flying around. I wanted to capture one in slow motion, but it's either like I'm not filming or I get distracted, or sometimes you just gotta watch it for yourself. Can't share everything, can we? Oh, speaking of that, I also found on the camera where it's got this super wide, so it's 2.7K with quote unquote super wide, so it should be more like true 16:9. I'm not gonna lie, I felt super guilty for not stopping and seeing if that guy needed help, so my bad, sorry. So we'll see what we can do here. Got the little cattail on the mic as well, so I know you're not going to have wind noise. I just don't know the overall quality of how it's going to be. Now, because my Rad is older and it's been 3 years and a little more tired, I try to keep the speed locked in a little slower so I get more of an exercise on the way home. And there's more battery life then too, right? They've been working on cleaning up this canal. So yeah, they've been moving a lot of dirt around. I don't know what the big game plan is here, but a lot of changes. It's kind of funny, I noticed, again, you can't see it because when I turn my head, the mic actually gets closer to my mouth. So it's going to be like oversaturated. You hear me breathing? It's going to be interesting, folks. Let's give it a shot. And they got a whole project here. They've moved tons of dirt from this waterway I don't know the reason behind it, but it has, I think the reason why they wanted to do is get down to the water table, not only for the birds, but also just to keep the water moving in a more consistent pace, is my guess. Somebody check the facts for me, please. Look it up. So, okay, where are we? So, okay, I've been looking at bikes, as you know. One of the ones, and I'll put an overlay up here, that I've been looking at is Nakira. So Google it, or actually I'll put a link in the description too. The Nakira, it's a really cool carbon fiber bike. You can get it, starting price is like $1,400 and change. And then of course they have a 1,000-watt option, which I definitely would get. I'm gonna scoot by here. Goose it. Right near the Irvine Police Department. Then I'm gonna crank it back down, get myself some more distance. And as you know, I kind of think it's a cool feature. My accelerator is stuck in any position I dial it. So right now, and just so you know, I'm pedaling, but really doesn't do anything because I don't have pedal assist. So I got there. I don't know if you can see. It is hard for me to tell without, oh man, really? I'm missing this red thing now? Everything over time just falls off. Like you think you got all your stuff, and like over time it just falls off. So it's a guy that does this every day. I think every day. I like the two different colored shoes. He's like, what's that called? Tai Chi? Again, someone correct me. Type it in the comments. Yeah, so back to the bike. Very nice, really cool design. And it actually comes with an app, and you can control or override speed parameters, pedal assist parameters. Check it out. Very cool bike. The thing that stopped me is instead I got something else. Okay, we got something going on here in Irvine. What's going on, guys? Big emergency. We're gonna blow by. Here's the hockey rink. Yeah, I ended up getting something else, and I spent a lot more money. And you guys have to stay tuned because it is going to be a big announcement. So subscribe, like, share. Just kidding. I mean, but don't. I mean, but do. Do it. Do it. Yeah. It'll be, I guarantee you, it's going to blow some people's minds. They're going to be like, what is he thinking? But it's definitely minimalistic, and yet it's expensive. And I think that's kind of, I think it's like an interesting juxtaposition, if I could say that. So, you guys let me know. Let me check my sanity. But I'm actually really excited about it, and I think it's a conversation that has obviously been happening, and a conversation that needs to happen. And it definitely, for me, it's going to be my next level experiment. It's really going to be more life-changing than anything. I'm not trying to like, oh, hang on, let's slow down and say hi to the duck. What up? Oh, it's a couple. Oh, cute. They're just chilling, looking at that awesome California sunset. We have a little cooler weather. It's not that cold, but I like to stay warm and toasty. Check out some of the nature down here. I got some more ducks. This is my commute now. There's 3 ducks. I like that those little black ducks hang out with the standard ducks. I need to know my duck species. Breeds, types, categories. Just don't. I don't know what they are. Have to look that up. But yeah, this is the commute. This is the, right now I'm not pedaling at all. I just got my legs chilling. Again, the balance on this bike's really nice. If you do get an e-bike, be careful, like first time kind of do this, but then check the balance. Make sure it's a well-balanced bike. Whatever the model. You don't want it too top heavy. You don't, depending on where the battery location is. And just a little free tip for you. No charge. No charge for the tip. So back to Nakira, check it out. I will definitely be looking further at it. But like I said, I bought something else. There we go, there's a good shot. Now the wind is kicking in, so I don't know how my little mic's gonna do, but like, check that out, that's really cool. Around this way. This is the path that I saw the coyote. I wasn't filming that day, but there was a coyote that was just traipsing along. I'll be honest, I was a little worried because he was trotting along, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go slow because I don't want to freak him out. Anyway, I know nothing about them, but it was very chill. He owned it. We're just gonna carefully go by these guys. So, yeah, it's trust me, it's frustrating that I'd like to speak more about what my plans are, but it's an interesting timing. I don't yet have access to said device, so I have to wait and I have to be patient. Oh, look at this little Amazon. Oh, this is that franchisee thing. That's the first one I've seen. Amazon Prime, where you can start your own distribution of Amazon, and those are the trucks, the branded trucks. And that was actually something that I applied for, by the way. They never reached out to me. Oh, hey doggy. Who lets their dog loose like that? It's just a rando dog. But yeah, that's interesting. So Amazon, I reached out to them, applied, and I never heard anything. So, oh well. A select few. That's what they say about success. A lot of it. You can prepare, you can do a bunch of things, got good credit, got some money, whatever. At the end of the day, success is really a lot about luck. Now, you can preload your luck, I feel, by a lot of hard work and really getting out there and trying. You could do that. But in general, it takes a tremendous amount of luck. I've had a few brushes of luck, but nothing ever really materialized because it's like I didn't quite have the right person I was working with. It's never me, of course. It wouldn't be, but I don't know if any of you other guys have ever done that. For example, I started something with cloud computing back in 1998, and that was with one of the biggest IBM magazines, I'm not going to say who, and also with IBM themselves. And we had a deal to kind of start into it. It was going to start based on education, but the intent was always to get into more business. And that was early on when banking wasn't on the internet. The internet was doing well, and it was kind of like the early stages. You had Netscape, you had stuff like that. But yeah, I was down in San Diego, was running my own servers, down there doing ad money, which was really good back then. And gonna wait. So I had that going on, but it just, anyway, long story short, IBM just decided, man, it's not the direction we want to go, and they closed it down, and just as quickly as we signed and it was exciting, they shut the whole thing down. So that happened. That was cool. That was one brush. Another one, I worked with I had this idea for, this is back when you had more like messenger type stuff. So it was to put telephone. Here's the jump. Hang on, guys. Anyway, it was a communication device. That's I'll put it there. It was a communication device, and I was working with an engineer, and he really had already proven himself by having his own company and created this really cool device. And so I essentially worked with him on this new one, spent some money on that. It was like prepping all this stuff. I sound like Donald Trump now. But anyway, he ended up not really knowing what he was doing with anything else. Like, he knew his thing super well. Like, it was a really cool device. But when it came to what I needed him for, he just melted. It's like, and he's like, oh, I just need more money and that'll fix it. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel like I gave you enough. It's just, what does one do? So that didn't work. I think the planets have to align. Like, the guys that started Google, they had the right mindset, the technology, the smarts, just everything just aligned perfectly for those guys, right? I think a lot of stories are like that. I think more people than not are in my position where, like, you're trying to do something, you're trying to, like, be creative, and then life happens, you have kids, you know, and then you're like, I don't have time to, like, create as much. But at least with this, I can share my experiences. You guys can hopefully learn some stuff. And as far as, like, different ways of commuting and saving money, I hope you find this interesting, somewhat entertaining. And, you know, stay tuned, because we'll have more. I'll also go on, so along with Nikira, I will put some info on some of the other bikes up in the upper area here. Come on, give me the green light. There we go. So yeah, I'll put some other info up, some of the other bikes that are kind of interesting. And then you guys let me know what you've been up to. Who has purchased what recently? Are you guys pulling the trigger? Now, granted, I am spoiled because my bike route is pretty cush. Can I say that? There's another. Yeah, this bike trail is pretty easy. This is the only part that's exposed. And yes, I'm on the sidewalk, and yes, you know, I'm careful though when people come. But I'm only on the sidewalk when I come home, because this way is like the path of least resistance. And when you commute with a bike, you'll find that's what you'll end up doing. You'll always find the path of least resistance, and you'll go that direction. And that's why I do what I do here. So don't judge. And I'm careful. Look, I'm only doing 14.5 miles an hour. Here's where the train usually comes. No train. And I'll go this way. There we go. And you got a plane going, landing right there. That's the path to land at John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana. Just FYI. So this is it. I mean, this is my trail. Most of my trail is like this. And I realize most people don't have that. So I feel for you. I wish you could all have a trail like this. Yippee-ki-yay. Yippee-ki-yo. Trail. That's so cool. And when it gets more towards dusk, it starts to turn orange, and that's super cool too. Really nice. Man, I am starving. I don't know about you guys, although timing, by the time I upload this, you'll probably have already had dinner. Some of you will be asleep, but somewhere in the planet, someone's going to be hungry like I'm hungry. Oh, that's another thing with my diet. So I did, more ducks, duck alert. I did, so as you guys know, I switched to vegetarian and some vegan. Well, pescatarian, so you got to throw some fish in there occasionally, some crustaceans occasionally, but I avoid chicken, I avoid it. I don't eat it anymore. I don't eat chicken. I feel like I've had a lifetime supply of chicken. If I'm repeating myself, by the way, oh, those are cool birds. I like those guys. If I'm repeating myself, I do apologize. But yes, I just feel like I've had a lifetime supply of chicken. I just don't even crave it anymore. Although I love the smell of barbecue chicken, I just can't really eat it anymore. And then beef, real beef. Not that there's a fake beef. There's a fake beef products which I love. But yeah, like the Impossible Burger and there's Impossible Burger, and what's the other one is Carl's Jr. has it. It's really good, actually. I really like it. This road's bumpy. I apologize. It's Impossible, and what is it? I'll put the link up there for what the Carl's Jr. one is. I've had that. Oh, there's one of these birds. Let's catch them. There we go. Tried to get. Hopefully, I'm capturing them on film. There's a bird there. This part's fun if you're into bird nature. I can't actually say that I am or I'm not. I'm net neutral on bird nature. But there's a lot of said birds in this area. So if you get yourself a foldable chair, come up here with your binoculars, and just have the time of your life. Whatever floats said boat, as they say. Check out the view, clouds. Now I'm standing up because my, my calf muscle is cramping up on me. Now, even with electric bikes, you do get exercise, guys. I don't know who says that you don't, but you do. And yeah, that feels much better to stand and kind of stretch. That's one thing nice. So I'm not pedaling. I'm just standing on the peg legs. They're not peg legs. They're pedals. And I'm stretching just ever so carefully. Oh, man, I need to stretch more. I think that would be a huge help for me. Yeah, it's tight. And that's not a good feeling. You don't want to be tight on your muscles. You just have to be careful when you hit a bump, because then you'll like hyperextend the muscles. So I'm carefully going to smooth. There we go. Yeah, but that is. Oh yeah. Easy. Oh, apologize. Best video ever. Yeah, that's another thing that I noticed too that's different. Like once you start taking your bike, again, I believe I am repeating myself somewhere in my catalog of videos, but as you're riding along, you'll smell people cooking different meals. It's really kind of cool. You're more at one with your environment, So yeah, today I was being more careful on the speed, so I had more battery left over, which gives me a break. I mean, even though, like I said, you do get exercise, I kind of didn't want to exercise too much today. I kind of go based off of how I'm feeling in the morning. If I feel like I've got a lot of energy and I do my thing, then I do pedal. I go full speed into work and I pedal quite a bit on the way home. Today is not one of those days. You can probably hear it in my voice. So we're gonna scooch by that guy. So as we go here. Oh, I have a couple of demos coming up. I'm demoing yet another light, another bike light, and I'm demoing another LED H4 LED for your car. What is it? A bulb. That's it. Your headlight bulb. So they have improved the technology a bit. Some of the earlier LED bulbs, they would be bright, but they would be bright to a short distance. They wouldn't go as far on the road. So it was super bright right immediately where you're looking. And then kind of almost immediately stop any kind of, diffused light. It was a shorter drop. I don't know what the technical term for that is, but oh no. So I feel like the bell, I could have done the bell thing, but I kind of felt like it's one of those situations where it's a vibe I think people give off when they're walking on the trail. And two people like that who are obviously just trying to walk the trail there aren't paying attention to bikes, probably because they didn't see one. And I get that, and I'm okay with it, but I would ring the bell, but I just feel like it wouldn't have done anything. I don't know, and then they look, people get confused and like, what, which way, and then I have to slow down. That's one of those, so you tell me, that's one of those where I just do what I do, right? I committed to the right lane and just went for it. You can hear the tires like this, like a swarm of bees coming down on you, so I figured they would eventually figure it out. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Well, this one I give warnings every time is such a blind spot. Because one time I was really hugging that edge, doing what I'm supposed to do, being careful, and some guy came ripping by and he took a short, sharp angle. So yeah, there's some cool doggies. What up, buddy? Those are golden retrievers. Anyone? Give me a price check on that. All right, this commute is just about in the can, but yeah, we're heading home. 4,416 miles on a 3-year-plus old rad rover. We'll stay tuned for my next set of videos here. Should have the review of the light, this new light. It's really nice. It's a metal casing, and it's very bright. 6,000 lumen, I want to say. And somebody actually left a comment about, you don't need a light that bright. It's gonna blind the other people on oncoming. Well, I'm sorry, you do actually need a bright light. You just don't aim it up at people's faces, right? So I would say that check your bike light, just make sure it's not facing in people's eyes. And but I'm sorry, when you're commuting at night, it gets really dark, especially around here. Actually, there's a bunch of lights here, but there are sections of the trail which aren't perfect and are dark. And it's nice to have a bright light. I'm sorry, I can't say I agree with that guy. So just watch yourself. So hopefully you guys have a great week. I'm gonna get this on the computer, get it edited, get all my clips, my little things up here. So you guys can check out some of the other items. Hopefully the GPS works. You can see the speed and the other things going on. Y'all take care and have yourself a great rest of the week. And let's hear it. GoPro, stop recording.